And that same wilderness is going to come into play in the end. It borders Esau, Ammon, and Jordan, and all those lands. Moab, it borders that. So when Israel was in the desert, they was right around the border of Esau. So that's why it said they had compassed Mount Seir, which we know belonged to Esau, right? Many days. And the Lord said, this is enough. You can pass this mountain long enough, turn northward, verse 4.
And command thou the people, saying, ye are to pass through the coasts of your brethren, the children of Esau, which dwell in Seir.
That's where they dwell, in Seir, right? So now the Lord gave Israel commandments when they got ready to pass by Esau. What'd he say?
And they shall be afraid of you.
He said Esau gonna be afraid of you, but what?
And they shall be afraid of you. Take ye good heed unto yourselves, therefore.
See, he said, the Lord said, take good heed to yourself. They gonna be afraid of you, but look, you ain't gonna mess with none of theirs. See, that show you how the Lord is fair across the board. The Lord was giving Israel the promised land that he promised them. He wasn't taking nothing away from Esau, though. He was taking away from the Canaanites. Esau was right there by the border, but he said, look, that is their land. I gave them that land, just like I'm giving you this. He going to tell them, go ahead.
Meddle not with them.
He said, meddle not with them. He telling Israel, don't meddle with the Edomites, with Mount Seir. Don't meddle with them. Go ahead.
For I will not give you their land. No, not so much as a foot breadth. Because I have given Mount Seir unto Esau for a possession.
See what he gave Mount Seir to? He gave it to Esau for a possession. See, he gave Israel Mount Zion. But he gave Esau Mount Seir, didn't he? And he said, don't even mess with their land. I'm not giving you their land. That shows the Lord is fair. So it's gonna be a slap in the face when Esau gonna come back. We're gonna read it. Come back and take Jacob's land, don't you think? That's gonna be a slap in God's face. And that's what's gonna happen. The Lord didn't let Israel touch none of their land. So again, we're going to see who hating who. Israel didn't touch their land. They went into their promised land from God. Go ahead, verse 6.
Ye shall buy meat of them for money, that ye may eat. And ye shall also buy water of them for money, that ye may drink.
Oh, he said you can buy meat and stuff and water to drink, but you ain't going to get none of theirs. I'm going to make sure of that, because I gave Mount Seir to Esau. Go to Joshua now 15, because I want to show you in proximity now. I want to show you in proximity how close, when Israel did, see, Israel was on their way to get their land, the land of Canaan. I want to show you where Esau was. Because we got to run this guy Esau down. He got to be around. So in proximity to Israel's land, we're going to see where Esau's was. Joshua 15 and verse 1. Joshua 15 and 1. Go ahead.
This then was the lot of the tribe of the children of Judah by their families, even to the border of Edom. The wilderness of Zin southward was the uttermost part of the south coast.
See, this is why it's no coincidence, brothers and sisters, that these people call themselves Jews to this day. They was always right by even. They wasn't just by Israel border. They was by the Jews border. Because the Lord gave all the 12 tribes different land in Israel. He gave them all different land. He allotted land for Joseph's sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, land for Zebulun, land for Naphtali, Asher, Dan. All of them had land. Benjamin. Then Judah had land. The Levites didn't have no land. They were scattered all over Israel. But he gave them all land. But where were the Edomites at in proximity to Israel's land? They were right by Judah's southern border. That's where they were. This is what this is telling you at verse 1. He said, this was the lot of the tribe of the children of Judah. See, Joshua was giving them the land from the Canaanites. Remember, they're not getting Esau land, right? But see, they butted right up against Esau land. That's what we're finding out here. He said, this was the lot of the tribe of the children of Judah by their families, even to the border of Edom. The wilderness of Zin southward was the uttermost part of the south coast. Now, skip down to verse 21. Read 21. He's going to say it again a little clear. Go ahead.
The uttermost cities of the tribes of the children of Judah toward the coast of Edom southward was Kabzeel and Eder and Jagur.
See, he even gives you the cities in the south. See, Judah, all the tribes, they really were like states. Then they had cities within those tribes. So he said the uttermost cities of the tribe of the children of Judah toward the coast of Edom. Keep mentioning the coast of Edom, because Edom was just south of Israel's border, and Judah, the tribe, was the southest tribe in the nation. They were at the south. So he said, the uttermost cities of the tribe of Judah, children of the tribe of Judah toward the coast of Ephraim southward, were Kazael and Eder and Jahar. So these cities went right up against Judah, Edom's border, even though they were cities of Judah. Now you say, well, what they got to do with anything? Now we're going to go to some history, Atlas of the Bible. We're going to go to Atlas of the Bible, because they was always close to Israel. See, this how they can, when we go into slavery, they can end up taking over and calling it their land. And even we're going to find out from this history right here how they would even know how to practice some of the practices that we practice, the religious practice. How they would know that. This is how they would know that. Atlas of the Bible. This on the handout should be on the back of your lesson. Page 160. We're going to pick it up at the second paragraph. That's our other links. We really don't run all that, but we'll read that. Start there. Atlas of the Bible. Other links. Go ahead.
Other links to the sea were established with the taking of Jemana and Ashertos. Also the cities of Medaba in the Transjordan was reduced after a long siege. Thus a portion of the king's highway connecting Damascus.
Okay, I tell you what, I'm sorry. We'll start from the top. Read that Antiochus at the top. Antiochus the 7th.
Antiochus 7 was killed in battle in 129.
Okay, now this is 129 BC, so I'm just giving you a reference of the time we at. So this is what it's talking about. Israel had already been in the captivity some, but they kept coming back God let them come back and try to regroup things. Now remember, Edom is at their southern border, right? So now when he naming all of these links that was going on when Israel was fighting the Greeks at this time, they over here on this map to the right. So you got this map to the right, and it show you the land of Israel. And it show you, see, Israel has split into two separate entities back in the 700 BC. They split into, and the 10 tribes was up north called Israel, and the 2 tribes were in the south called Benjamin, called Judah. Benjamin was with Judah. So that's why you got Samaria big on the map, because that was the capital of the 10 tribes. And that's why you got Judea big on the map, because that was the capital in the south of the 2 tribes. See, they was a split nation by then, after Solomon died. Okay, so you got Samaria and Judea, the 2 main capitals. But Judea is obviously in the south. That's why it's on the bottom, right? But then under Judea, what do you see? You see another capital for somebody. You see Idumea, right? You know what Idumea is? That's Edom. That's the Greek word for Edom. That's who that is. And we're going to find them in the Bible. See, older maps before this one, it wouldn't have Idumea. It just have Edom, because the Greeks called them Idumea. But Edom, Idumea and Edom is one and the same. Understand that. And the Bible going to confirm that. So now when he's giving you all of these numbers and stuff, like he said, other links to the sea were established with the takeover of Jemana 7. So you can see all those countries. This is when some of the Israelites were still trying to fight these Greeks. But I want to get to the point. Skip down to 125, about 125, the middle of that paragraph. Go ahead.
By 125, Hyrcanus had annexed part of Samaria and all Idumea. The conquest of Idumea meant that the easy southern approaches to the hills country of Judah, which the Seleucids had used repeatedly, were secured.
Okay, now this is an Israelite, this Hyrcanus. See, they trying to keep the Greeks off. See, so what they realized they need to do, see, they knew Edom was some backstabbers. They knew Idumea was some backstabbers. They said, look, we got to get these cats under subjection before we can do anything. So they said, look, we trying to fight these Greeks. We got to get these cats at our back door. We got to get them in subjection. So what they did, they went to Edom like David had them in subjection. David, Solomon, all of them had them in subjection. Edom wasn't doing nothing. But see, once Israel started messing up, the Lord let their little rulership slip. But this guy Hyrcanus, he was trying to keep it straight. So he said, look, we got to keep Edom in subjection, this Idumea. So what he did, he took them over and he made them a part of Israel, basically. He made them even get circumcised. He made them start following the holy days and stuff like that. That way they would feel associated with Israel. See, so that's how they got some understanding of the word in the first place. Hey, they was forced to do it because Israel was fighting the Greeks. So that's what we read here. Read that again by 125.
By 125, Hyrcanus had annexed part of Samaria.
See, that's up the north, but that ain't what's important here, but go ahead.
And all of Idumea.
And all of Idumea, which is south, right? Go ahead.
The conquest of Idumea meant that the easy southern approaches to the hill country of Judea, which the Seleucids had used repeatedly, were secured.
See, that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to secure, because the Edomites just letting the Greeks in. That's the Seleucids. They Greeks. The Edomites just letting them in. Yeah, come on in. Y'all can get them. See, so they said, look, we got to deal with them. So that's what they did, right? So it meant that the easy southern approaches to the hill country of Judea was secure now. Go ahead. Let's see what he said about the people in those territories. Go ahead.
The people in these territories were forced to accept Judaism.
Oh, see, they made the Idumeans, or Edomites, which is our twin brother, but they still a different nation. They made them a part of the religion. They were forced to accept Judaism. Go ahead.
As a means of ensuring their loyalty.
Right. They said, look, if we make them a part of this thing, we ain't got to worry about them. Which again, if God ain't on your side, you can do all that you want. It still ain't going to work. Because in the end, they fail anyway. But go ahead.
Among the converted were the ancestors of the future kings of Judea, Herod the Great.
Oh, among the converted were the ancestors of the future king of Judea, Herod the Great. See, when you read about Herod in the New Testament, he is not a Jew. The Jews knew he wasn't a Jew. Everybody at that time knew he wasn't an Israelite. Though he was the king set up by the Romans, he was not a Jew. He was an Idumean. He's one of them. He's an Edomite. Just like the guy in Chicago just became mayor. He's not an Israelite. He's an Idumean. Same difference. But now, it said these people in these territories were forced to accept Judaism as a means of ensuring their Lord. Among the converted were the ancestors of the future king of Judea, Herod the Great. So that means he wasn't an Israelite, he was an Idumean. Go ahead.
In 108, Hyrcanus embarked on a second campaign in Samaria. Shechem, 10, was taken the level even ending the long history of that famous site where Abraham had built his first altar in the promised land.
Okay, that's good. But now if you look at the map again, you see Idumea is just to the south of Judea. Now, when you look at later maps, I didn't even get a chance to find now. When you look at later maps, you don't see Idumea nowhere on there. You just see all Judea. Because, see, that's what they did when they took over. Hey, they got Idumea out the picture. You don't even think about Idumea no more. You don't think that Edom has even ever been in existence because they just call it all Judea. But now, we're going to move further. Let's go to Psalm 137. Let's show you why all that's relevant, why it's all significant and important. Psalm 137. Because you say, well, you know, Edom and all that, that's not important. Look, this is important throughout the Bible. We ain't reading all this scripture just for good reading. It's important. See, and you need to understand about Israel because you can't even fully grasp prophecy and what the Lord is getting ready to do to this world unless you understand who the real Israel is. And to understand who the real Israel is, you need to understand Edom, that Edom has usurped Israel and is calling himself the Jew now. See, if it didn't matter, Jesus wouldn't be talking about it all the way down to Revelation. If it didn't matter. People say, oh, it don't matter who it is and what color they are. Well, if you've been lied to, it do matter. You need to know the truth. The truth will set you free. 137. If you know, no, it don't matter. Psalm 137 and 1. See, this is what Edom have always done. That's why the title is Esau, which we know is Edom, or now we found out Idumea is another name. The title is Esau's hatred against Jacob.